Hi guys, it's Thursday afternoon. It's 3:30 UK time, 4:30 Central European time. So that must be only one thing. We just listened to the Netherlands song. So here to give their opinions, we've got Ian. It's a special treat to have Ian because he's banned.
Thanks for the unbanning for the one-off occasion. Yeah, what a fun experience.
Looking forward to your opinions, Ian. We've got Paul and Andrew. Hello, Paul and Andrew.
Hi, everyone. Good day.
And we've got Elliot. Hello, Elliot.
Hello, everyone. Yes, sorry, being mildly late there. Chaos in the house. What can I do?
That's right. So now I'm going to hand over to lovely Elliot.
Thank you. So, as we know, Claude was the artist. He's been announced for a few weeks now that we knew he'd be competing. A little bit later than usual for the Netherlands due to everything from last year. He is a 20-year-old singer from the Congo originally and then moved across to the Netherlands. And they've just released their entry called C'est la vie. Fun fact about this song, it's the first time in a Netherlands entry that French has featured ever. So, yay, more French. Starts off as a sort of like waltzing chanson and then goes into a more of a pop drop sort of feel about it all. Let's kickstart this. Ian, two very different styles into a cohesive song of sorts. What do you make of this?
I really, 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 really want to love it. And I'm almost there. Almost. I love the verses. I love his style. He's beautiful. He can dance no end. It's just the chorus just tips me off a little bit. Like there's something just slightly missing. And I think if they could find that little something before the competition, it could be onto a winner. I really, really do like it. It's kind of somber, it's upbeat, it's got a bit of something for everyone, and I like his style. The man's got style. Really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries. Thank you, Rachel. Michelle, let's come across to you. As two very different styles. A chanson starts. He's obviously talking about someone very particular. It sounds like maybe his mother, because she's saying like, I remember the melody and things like that. And then it goes into say like this very upbeat, punchy chorus. It's a lot of dancing. Reminds me of a lot of the Belgian singer Stormé, if anyone knows of him.
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to land in Basel? Because the last time I can remember a song with like two very conflicting styles was Norway in 2016, and that didn't go as they hoped. So what was your initial thought from this?
Well, I think that it is a very emotional song, and you can tell that there's a story. Obviously, I've not had a chance to look at the words yet because we've only just heard it. But you can tell that there's a story to be told. And I think with the staging, it will lift it right up there with they're going to have things going on around them to tell the story. And I think then we'll understand. I like the fact it was in English and French. And the French was simple French that even I could understand most of it, which always absolutely goes down well in Europe, because France did it the other year with Voila. That was easy French, and it almost won. But I think with the staging and the arrangement with the violins in the background and everything, I think it's going to build and build and build. And I think they might tweak it just a little bit, but it does have a hook. It's nice and catchy and boppy, but it's the la 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 vie. And everyone's going to catch on to that, and it's going to be fantastic. But I really, really like this. I can see a story to be told, like Ireland with Ryan O'Shaughnessy. I can imagine a staging that's going to have a separate bit of storytelling in it. And I think the emotion in his voice is going to come through so passionately. I think this is an easy quali.
Okay, so Michelle is throwing out an easy quali there. Let's just remind ourselves of who we will be against. So he's in the second half of the first semi-final. So in that half, you'll have Albania, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Cyprus, and San Marino. Now, I know the bulk of them already, and it's a lot of male voices in that half alone. Paul and Andrew, do you think because the musical style is very different to what we've got in the second half of the semi-final so far, that will work for Claude and the Netherlands in getting through?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's going to stand out amongst any semi-final. I think the most important thing about any Eurovision song is that it has to be immediate. You have to like it straight away. I know that Michelle has listened to it a couple of times before previously, but that showing this afternoon, a few minutes ago, was the first time that we've seen it or heard it. And I have to say that I absolutely loved it. I absolutely, we're a sucker, both of us, for a French chanson anyway. And then it completely turns into a proper bop, a proper, you know, a great pop song. I'd like to study the lyrics to learn about it a bit more, but on a first hearing, this is exactly what you need for a good Eurovision entry, and I'm absolutely certain that it will stand out and absolutely qualify, definitely.
I have to say, I agree with Paul. I think the song was wonderful. I hope he actually keeps some of the dance routine that he had on the video, because I thought that was something that wouldn't interfere with his singing too much. But it actually looks quite effective. And if he's got 5 dancers around him all doing the same thing in perfect unison, that will, I think, just blow everybody away. To me, I'd say it will qualify. And at the moment, this is by far my favourite song of the whole lot.
Ooh.
It's gone straight to number 1. I don't get winner vibes from it yet, but I think with a bit of tweaking and just making the chorus, as Ian said, that bit more of a banger.
It will also depend on the staging, of course, but I'm pretty sure he'll be able to do something like that. He gives me very much, as you mentioned already, Stromae or Stormé vibes, and I've always been a big fan of Stormé, so I think it will do well.
Thank you. So yeah, this song in part was wrote with someone called Arno Klabman. Yes, that is his surname. Who has also worked on the entry in Turin by S10, and I think you can really tell his influence in those similarities of those songs. Thing I like the most about is this is a man who's got style, and not just musical style or dancing style. The clothing in that video was great as well. I loved what him and the dancers were wearing. I thought it was so cool. So I hope they bring some of that into it as well. And yeah, looking at who's in that semi-final so far, it's my second favourite at the moment, behind Belgium in that semi-final. So I see it qualifying. It would be a shame if he didn't, because I think the song is very, very strong, and he does seem like a very strong singer. And Michelle's right, you know, it's simple enough French that people can catch on to it. And yes, although it does change, it is still catchy, so you will still remember it. I don't know where in the second half it's going to go, but in the same vein, I don't think it's in any major trouble in qualifying. And I think this is actually a very strong response from the Netherlands. And, you know, given, you know, not even 6 months ago, we were not even sure if they were going to compete or not. The fact they've come back with something so strong and something so true to Claude, listening to his other stuff, I think is a great, you know, show of the Dutch tenacity and resilience, which they are somewhat known for. As I always say, my stepmother is Dutch. I know a lot of their tendencies, and they are a very steadfast, direct group of people, which I think is fantastic. So, C'est la vie. I think we're all in agreement it's going to be in the final.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I've had a look at semi-final 1, and I've got 5 decent, definitely qualify so far. So this will make it number 6. But also in the first half, you've got Slovenia with how much time do we have? Which I think that is going to tell us, obviously that does tell a story, and he's going to have something on stage telling a story as well. So I'm not sure if that is going to, you know, if they're going to get split with the storytelling votes.
I think so, but I think Clement and Claude also go for different demographics. When you look at, I think Clement, if we look at, say, like, put our Melfest heads on the demographics based on there, Clement's going to take the older age group, where I think this is a lot more geared at sort of, for lack of, you know, your 37s and younger, because it's got that sort of like funky beat in there as well. Whereas Clement, you know, is a very, very strong, but very down the line ballads. You know, fantastic singer. But, you know, I agree. I think that is his one concern at the moment. The fact you have got Clement with such a horrific but beautiful story, sang very, very well, and upside down at points. You know, and say it is a little bit similar. But, you know, I do trust the Dutch team and Claude himself. Even again, going from that music video, that they will be very visually dynamic and very visually different as well. So yeah, I think they should, negotiate that without any worries. So if we are playing devil's advocate and saying this is in the final, whereabouts do we see this landing? Now, Michelle, you have said 2 separate songs are getting 7th in Australia.
I know. I've changed.
Are you already tied on one spot?
I've changed yesterday's to 8th because I got my book out and I was like, all right. So I'm leaving Ukraine at 7, to Cyprus at 8, and somebody else is at 9, aren't they?
I think you said Australia or something like that the other day.
So this, I'm gonna get a pen so I can write it down. This is gonna be 11th. 11th in the final.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. As it is, it's gotta be a 7 with some tweaks.
I've already got 2 7s though.
Well, 777, lucky number. With a few tweaks, if they make the chorus really pop, like turn it into bordering almost on a rave, then top 5. Definitely. Yeah.
What do you think, Ian, about the staging?
I would hope this is the infuriating thing about the song. One, hearing it as a recording and not live. So I've never heard this person's voice live before. I can't sing for Toffee, so for me to judge would be unfair. But I would hope that it would be spectacular, smooth. And then the other aspect is not seeing it without the stage. This can go horribly wrong. If it's a man that looks like a fart in a blizzard, it's just going to be wasted on the audience. If it's interactive and fun and upbeat for the chorus parts, then it'll make people want to get involved and like dance along. So till we see the stage, I would probably stick with a safe 7th place. And then if the staging goes the way in my mind that I think it might do, I see it as a different way to Michelle. Instead of it being him singing and a story being told on like the other side of the stage with a couple of dancers, I've seen him being more interactive in it, like in the video. If it goes that way, then top 5.
Okay. Paul and Andrew, where do you sit on this? Where at the moment can you see this finishing in? I nearly said Trin, then God knows why. Basel. Yeah, he's mixed up.
Basel, yes. Well, we haven't done a ranking yet. We tend to wait until the end or when all the songs are released. We'll do it then.
We love a wild prediction.
Yeah.
We need a wild prediction.
Wild is free.
Based on what we've seen so far, is that it's going to do very well.
Yes.
It will easily qualify, and it will be on the top side of the left side of the board. I really do think that. If he can, I like the dancing in the video. If he can move those dancers over to the live performance, I mean, a really good contemporary dance feel, almost like sort of Christine and the Queens, sort of.
Michelle's favourites.
I love Christine and the Queens. I absolutely do. Yeah.
I like contemporary dance
like that. So if they can take that to the live stage and even build upon it, then only way is up, baby.
Does it seem like this year musically people are afraid to just go that extra? I feel like he's teetering on the edge and he just needs a little shove to go over the edge a little bit. I feel like all the other artists are just holding back. And I think that'll put him in a...
Yeah, everybody does seem to be playing it safe this year.
Yeah.
I think this has the potential with just a few little tweaks to really elevate it. I think the one thing I'd say as a negative of the song, it seems to fizzle out at the end. I would actually, if they could, almost like keep building it and just go bang.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the end. I like it that they build and build and build and then have the soft, quiet ending. I quite like that.
But
that's right. But you also have to remember there's a ton of songs we've not heard yet.
Yeah. And it also depends on the storytelling as well. Like, the same as last year with what's his name? Juiced. He was telling a story. They've come back with another story, completely different. If they can, the story, the ending of the song might need like a downwards ending. It might be. We haven't read the lyrics yet, so.
I mean, personally, for me, I will put my neck out. I say if they can make the ending just pop a little bit, and that's just for me. I understand other people have different views. If they can really get the chorus to sing out because it builds and builds and builds the whole way along. I'd say top 3.
Yay.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think
That's
it's also
bold.
calling for the fact, as what we were saying. I think during Euro Club and things like that, if they bring out a dance mix as well, that will get more radio play as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit stronger than Spencer Uso, so at least he won't have a veil on his head. I hope. God, remember that? That was a car crash and arrival. Sorry. I normally like the Dutch entries, but I remember that just being, why has she got a veil? What is she doing? And then she's in an inflatable bin bag.
Yeah, answers on a postcard.
I don't think she,
What about less like gimmicks? So like already this year we've got the gimmicks of being upside down. Are we gonna sing blindfolded? You know, like, let's just come out on the stage and have a meaningful song and a good old dance.
I hope it doesn't have 2 giant trumpets above him. That would kill it.
No, there won't be space because Uncle Beacon's gonna have a giant microphone.
Yeah. Giant microphone.
I do think, going back to your point, Ian, about maybe countries are being too safe musically, I don't think that's the case because Belgium, very underground song, not really heard that before. Erica, it's a bit more in your face in a different way. I think people are just seeing the commercial aspect outside the contest a lot more and the success it can bring now.
Well, I don't mean in terms of like what we're used to hearing. It's like everyone's singing and they're singing up to a certain note and it's like they don't want to sing the high note. It's like, let's stop here and let's just play it safe and pull it back. Or the beat goes faster, but it stops at a certain speed. We need it to go a little bit faster and we need to get the party going and then you need to pull it back. It's like it's right on the edge. It's like, and there's quite a few that do it with the big giant microphone lady. Like that to me is timid and tame. Like it needs to go to the nth degree. Fire out there. Yeah, it's just that it's like everyone seems really timid. It's like this is not the time for timidness. 200 million people watching. Get your A game on. Don't be afraid. Go for it. You've got the vocals. You've got the style. You've got the charisma. You could do this. Bang it out the park. That's what we want to see.
I think the giant microphone kind of reminds me of last year with the year before with the Croatian band came on with
Let 3, was it?
Let 3, yeah, with their sort of cardboard rockets.
Yeah.
Pretty awful, really.
We've gone off piece now. Let's get back. Let's get back to Claude.
I mean, the other thing I'd say as well, which I think is something, this is a song as well that I think will appeal to the juries and to the public. It will actually get votes from both.
Yeah, that's true. I think it will do well with the juries too, even though they're not voting in the semi-finals.
So how soon do we find out about what their staging is, or do we think it's going to be a closed secret?
It depends on what the broadcaster wants to do and how much they want to release. We know the head of delegation meeting is on the 10th of March, and that's when it all had to be submitted. Because that's also when Switzerland are dropping their entry, because that's a very clever game they're playing. As opposed to that, I guess you can only start getting ideas when you see their running order, and then you can maybe piece things together from that. I do think this is sailing through. I think it is strong enough in its own merit. Even if it was just to stand there and sing, I think he will be strong enough to do that. In the final, I think he'll land around 10th. And again, like S10, I think he'll do very well in the jury, and then it will maybe fade in the public by comparison. But it does depend on what he is around, because if you then put this next to, say, you're Finland, you're Malta, you're Belgium, in a sense, it will get lost by the bright lights and the craziness of those other entries, whereas this is a very clean pop chanson track. You know, that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with this. It's very, very clean. But as we've seen in the past, being too polished and too clean, and for lack of a better word, too Swedish, can be your downfall, because people don't want perfection at times. They want a bit more they want a rough diamond, basically. We saw that with Carly, Baby Lasagna, you know, Nemo, to a point that sonically that was a rough diamond performed beautifully. So I think Claude will maybe land around 10th at the minute. That could change once we get all the songs. So we still got 15 or 16 songs to come out. And once we get all of them, I think will be more of a, idea. But as just a snapshot, I think that's what he can achieve. And I think they'll be very proud of that.
Yeah. You know,
But-
it's like it's done well. It's a fun song. You know, it doesn't rely on anything other than his own talents. So good luck to him, and I'm sure he's going to do well. Can't wait.
Nice to be with this for once this season.
Any final thoughts on Claude and C'est La Vie, apart from me now going to listen to the Bewitched version, because whenever I hear that phrase, that's all my mind goes to.
It's good. It's good. It's going to do well. I've heard him sing live. I've Googled him and everything, and that it's going to be very, very good. Very good. He's one to watch.
Yeah, I think if he can sing as live as he sounded on the actual video, then I think this could really be a special moment.
I do. Yes, I think it should do really well. But having said that, every year we say there's at least 1 or 2 songs that we think will do really, really well, and they all bombs,
And one
but
does really well, and one does, and one bombs.
Yeah.
let's hope it's not this one.
Yeah, I hope it's the one.
But while predictions are our thing, we've been doing this for 6 years now. When our brand is, let's just throw a guess out there and some stick on the wall and some
I've never been right once. Never.
The only time I got right was Alika, where I said she'd finish around 8 because the jury would carry her through it, and I was right. That's it. But they are our thoughts on Claude and C'est La Vie. If you're watching this live, thank you very much. If you're watching it back, make sure you do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't, subscribe, follow us, because we are covering pretty much every release in every national final between now and Basel, because we are back. Is it Saturday we're back, Michelle?
Yep, we're back Saturday after Melfest with Melfest Heat, whatever it is, because I don't do it.
That's the last one. That's been on that. Whoops.
And then we're back Sunday with, I don't know what we got Sunday. I think it's Germany and then Denmark. And then on Monday, we have Serbia and Croatia. So it's all happening now.
Nice little tour around Europe.
Yeah, why not?
Don't get that many travel brochure. But until then, guys, we're going to love and leave you. Thank you so much for listening to us waffle on for the best part of 20 minutes about C'est La Vie. Until Saturday night, see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.